today's video, we'd like to take a few minutes to talk about aerial lift user risk assessment. In December of 2018, ANSI published the long-awaited changes to standards relating to aerial lifts. Now that the changes are official, it's important for every employer identified as user in the standards to read and understand these new rules. They include risk assessment. Now, there's 8 stages of risk assessment every user must follow under the new standards. The first is identify the task to be undertaken. So the first stage in the risk assessment is the task to be undertaken needs to be clearly identified together with location and timing. The second is select an appropriate MEWP. With so many different types of aerial lifts to choose from, a user must select an appropriate machine based on consideration of factors, including but not limited to the job at hand, including required platform capacity, height, and horizontal reach, the rules and conditions of the work site, ground condition, site access, and proximity to the public or other workers. The third stage is assessment of the risk associated with the task. The risks associated with the task specific to an MEWP's operations must be identified. These might be associated with the location where the work is to be carried out, the nature of the aerial lift or the personnel, materials, and equipment to be carried. The fourth stage is identify control measures. Once the hazards and risks involved in the task have been identified, the procedures and measures required to control them must be identified and implemented. The fifth stage is identify safe work procedures. The risk assessment results are used to plan safe work procedures, including any contingencies required in carrying out the identified tasks. The sixth stage is complex. It's rescue from height. This stage is one that should be included in aerial lift operator and occupant training. Rescue planning is a necessary component of risk assessment when working at height and will require prior planning to ensure a safe and timely rescue. Some of the things that should be considered in your rescue plan are a system failure of the MEWP that results in loss of platform control and functions, a fall from the platform when using fall arrest system. This will require a rescue plan to determine how the affected worker will return safely to the ground or platform. Rescue of an MEWP's occupants if the machine is unable to be lowered for any reason, such as complete machine malfunction or work platform entanglement. In the case of platform entanglement, the operator and occupants must be removed from the platform prior to attempts being made to free the platform. All occupants must receive training that explains procedures to follow if they fall and await rescue or witness another worker's fall. A rescue plan can include the following: self-rescue by the person involved, assisted rescue by others in the work area, or technical rescue by emergency services. Rescue should always be carried out by appropriately trained personnel, using the machine's ground controls or secondary lowering system when feasible. All rescue procedures near electrical conductors require additional training. Your rescue plan must be put in writing and become part of your company's training manual. The seventh stage is communicate the results. The user must communicate the results of the risk assessment to all parties involved. And finally, the eighth stage is review and adjust. Before a job starts and periodically through a long-term job, the risk assessment must be reviewed to check if any parts of the tasks or the working environment have changed and determine the effect that it could have on the safety of the operation. If any modifications to the risk assessment are required, these must be communicated to all those involved prior to resuming the job. Now, we hope this video gives you a good place to start when writing up your MEWP risk assessment.